What's up, you guys? All right, it's Wildcard Wednesday. The streak continues. Another green day, $27,472.86 of profit. 21,000 of it came on gnus, which as of right now has 197 million shares of volume and is up 56%. It's not our biggest percentage gainer that we've ever seen, but it's a continuation from the move that kind of started, I don't know, it was almost like the end of May, down around $2, $1.50. So, I think it's one that you guys were right. I did hesitate on this yesterday and the day before. I saw it moving higher, but without a fresh catalyst, I wasn't sure it was worth taking any trades on. And I also just, it seemed choppy. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but as I looked at the chart yesterday, it seemed a little choppy, whereas today was pretty parabolic, pretty sweet. We had one breakout from $5.74 all the way up to just under $8 in one 5-minute breakout. Now, this is a stock that has so much volume, I was able to get in and get out in 5,000 share blocks with no slippage. I even was hitting the bid with a 15,000 share order, no slippage. So I was able to be very aggressive on my share size. And because of that, here we have these really impressive profits. So, it's relative to your risk tolerance. In order to take 15, 20,000 shares, you've got to be willing to risk on that particular trade $2,000, $3,000. And I had a trade today that was a $4,000 loss. I booked the loss. I did make it back, but I did have a bigger loss. So at the point that I had that loss, I was up, I believe, 15,000, and then I was up only 11,000. So I was like, that's not great. That's disappointing. But it happened, so it's fine. Just keep focusing on the next opportunities, and the day ended up really coming together here. So 3 days into the month, I think this is my 6th day in a row up more than 10,000, and I'm up $80,000 on the month of June, and it's June 3rd. So we literally have, let me look at my calendar. I don't think we have any holidays this month. So we have, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 days left in the month. I mean, my goal is 100,000. Right now, that's my goal. I want to get to 100 grand. If I can break 100 grand, new goal, 150. If I can break 150, new goal, 200. If I can break 200, new goal, 250. And if I can break 250, the new goal will be 300. I'll just keep setting the bar out just a little ways so it's easy within a couple of really good days for me to hit that next level. And also, if I start to have slow days, I won't feel like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get there, and then feel bad, even though I've had a fantastic month. So, obviously the market will slow down at some point. And so, your job, especially for those of you guys who are students, is to study these momentum stocks. Watch my live trading archives from earlier in the week or from last week. Go through them, pause them, watch the time to sales of level 2, and really try to get dialed in on understanding what I'm seeing that gives me the confidence to pull the trigger, right? I want to empower you so you can capitalize on this opportunity. This is a window right now, a window where we're seeing a lot of opportunity. It's kind of like, hot fishing on the Bering Sea, and you're on the crab, and you just set back, dig deep, work hard, because eventually, whether it's tomorrow or a week from now, things will slow down. So yeah, it's pretty, I'm just looking at that profit, $27,000, it's crazy. So we'll break it down in today's recap. Please hit that thumbs up button wherever it is, and the subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It's how you let YouTube know that these are videos that they should recommend to other people who are interested in trading. So please hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for the watch list live streaming right around 9 a.m. All right, see you guys then. All right, you guys, so we're gonna do our recap here. Another green day. This is absolutely insane. I'm up $27,472.86. I feel like, after these last
this last week of trading, I feel like I am this close to having a $50,000 green day. I mean, I feel like it is right around the corner, because the reality is the stocks I traded today, GNUS being the biggest winner. I mean, this was an impressive move, no doubt about it. This was a continuation setup with no news, but it's up it's up 58% on 173 million shares of volume. The market right now is going crazy. And seco, WISA, huge, these other ones, I mean, they were all pretty impressive in their own way as well. So, we haven't actually had that stock, at least in I'm trying to think of the last one that we had that really would be like a parabolic stock for the record book. Liberty TripAdvisors was definitely one that was insane, from, I don't know what it was, $12 to $150. PHUN was pretty impressive, but it was from $1 to $3. It was really cheap. It was just that it did like 8 halts in a row going up or whatever it was. Hey, look at that, man. I see someone just posted their screenshot, their P&L. I'll just grab it on this monitor. So thank you guys for posting those. Looking good, Bill. So there's Bill posting $14,848 on Huge. Nice work, man. I'm only up $525 on that one. GNUS, not as much profit. A couple others, but dude, $14,000 in one day. That's fantastic. So how did today unfold? Well, it started like any other day, and that's kind of the nice thing about my strategy. You don't really have to do a lot of homework. We don't do a lot of after hours, watch list building or anything like that. Generally speaking, I sit down each morning around anywhere from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, and I start looking at the gap scanner. And on the gap scanner this morning, we had Huge gapping up 350%, which is outrageous. So that was the first one that I was looking at. And then we had seco gapping up 96%. We had WISA up 45% and GNUS up 24%. Now, I was honed in first on Huge, HUGE. I did not take a trade on it pre-market. I suppose I could have, but I didn't take a trade in this area because I was a little concerned that it was going to be opening. I was concerned that the spreads were just going to be a little too high. I was like, I don't know. I like the idea of it, but I think I'll just wait for the bell to ring. I have a memory from, I don't remember when this was, but was I in California? Or maybe it was when I was in Italy. I was on my traveling trading station, and I took a trade on a stock like this. Like, it wasn't pre-market, it was right out of the gates, but I lost. It ended up halting, going down. It was just a really bad loss. And so sometimes in this price range, I get a little timid. Now, if a stock starts at the $8 range and I'm trading it, and then it's goes from 8 to 9 to 10. Hey, there's another one, Mustafa, nice on light speed, looking good, man. Good work, incredible. So, when they go from 8 to 10, etc., then I'm kind of already in the zone of trading it, and I'm willing to trade it when it gets into the teens. But when I don't have a cushion on it and it's starting that high, that's when I'm a little bit more cautious. So on this one, I didn't take any pre-market trades, and all of a sudden at 9:15, it was halted pending news, and I was like, uh-oh, this looks like a bad situation. I'm thinking that they're going to be putting out news of a secondary offering. You don't usually see good news come of a pre-market halted pending news. But in fact, it was just, there was a headline here, there was a couple different headlines, and it actually wasn't a bad halt. So it squeezed up here and actually opened at $14 on resumption, which is crazy. And it immediately halted going down to $12.61. I almost bought going into the halt because I was thinking, okay, it looks like it's selling off. I wanted to buy a dip, but I held off. I didn't do it. It then halts. It then drops a second time, and I actually did buy this one. And if we pull this in like a 10-second chart, we can see with a little bit more detail kind of what I did here. So on this one, it flushed down right here, and I actually bought it at 11 and added at 11.50 and added again at 12. I was looking for this to rip back up through the highs. It hit 12 and then flushed back down, and I stopped out right here at 11.67, right here for a $4,000 loss. So that was disappointing. It ended up halting going down. Coming out of that halt going down, I took another dip trade at about 9.75, and this one popped back up to 10.30. So I made back a little bit of profit on that. Then it consolidated for a second here. I got back in, where was this? It was right around here at 9.75 for the break back over. It hit a high of 10.45, and we got another trade on it back here up to 11. So I actually made back the 4,000 I lost on these dip trades, buying the dips and selling into the breakouts. But it was not what I was hoping for by any means. And at this point, it's just not looking good. So that's unfortunate and disappointing. Seco was the second one I was watching out of the gates. And I did take trades on this right out of the gates for the break of what I was calling the pre-market pivot, which is something that we talked about in the classes, which was 427. So I was long 427, and it squeezed up to a high of 466, which was a really nice breakout. It then pulls back and does a quick little sort of false break, tap of VWAP before fading lower. It did drop down here. It flushed down to 392. I remember I tried to do a dip trade there, but I don't think I got filled. So seco, basically the trade was gap and go, break a pre-market pivot for a quick 50 cent squeeze. And on this one, I don't remember if I was trading with 10,000 or 15,000 shares, but I was being aggressive. Nice Will, $420 of profit. That's good to see. Good job, man. So he was just posting his P&L there. So that's seco, and then gnus. Yesterday I was kind of like, I don't know, it's interesting, but it's kind of grinding. It's moving higher, but it's a little choppy. I didn't think it really looked all that clean. Even though it did make a big move, it had no news and it seemed choppy. Today I was like, all right, well, it does look interesting over that pre-market high, but right before the bell it had sold off, so I kind of stopped looking at it. Well, right as we came into the open, right in here. Right as we came into the open, it was popping up. But at that time, I was already looking at seco, and I sort of had taken this off my list for a second. As you can see here, it popped up to a high of 545 or 550. It dropped down. Then it ripped back up here and got halted at 570. So this was where I was like, okay, wow, it's halted. I'm going to start trading this. On resumption from the halt, it opened and it flushed down. I got long on this on the dip with 10,000 shares at 555 and added another 5,000 for the break over the high. We got there with a 15,000 share position, a squeeze up to 90. All right, it pulls back. I bought this pullback right here, took a little trade back up to the high there, not a big winner. And as it curled back up right here, I added for the break of 6, 10,000 shares. It did a false break. It hit a high of 608 and then dropped back down. New order at 610. Comes up through 610. I added 10,000 shares. I added another 5,000 for the break over 15. And then I was adding 1,000 shares as it was squeezing higher. And this trade was, I think, with 18,000 shares. And we got to move from 6 all the way up, as you can see right here, to a high of 670 before the first pullback. So really the biggest difference right now with my trading is that I'm trading with 5,000 share starter size on, this was 1,500 because it was huge, but the other ones were 5,000. seco and gnus were 5,000 shares starter size. I was doubling to 10,000, going up to 15,000, and hit a max size today of, I think, 18,000 shares, again, the same as yesterday. So I'm going to increase my max share size to 25,000 shares for tomorrow. I don't see a reason not to. This stock has now 180 million shares of volume, and it's only 11 a.m. So this will probably have 250, maybe 300 million shares of volume by the end of the day. I could easily be jumping in it with 30,000 shares if I wanted to. So I'm going to try to step it up a little bit, and as long as we keep seeing those opportunities. Now, some of the ones that are bigger spreads and a little riskier, I'll be more careful on, but as long as we're still seeing big momentum and high volume, I'm going to try to really capitalize on this hot streak. So where am I sitting on the month of June? All right, so let's see. 6/1/2020 to 6/4/3/2020. So I don't have today's trades imported yet. Those, of course, will get imported tomorrow. So let's see. We'll look at the gross, and we'll look at the month of June. So 24,000 on Monday, 28,000 on Tuesday, 27,000 here today. Detailed has a profit of wow, look at that. That is absolutely phenomenal accuracy. Now, I will say that this is probably grouping my trades in a funny way. When you import your trades to TraderView, they group them. Because I yesterday was really solid. Yesterday, I actually might not have had any losers. Let's just check yesterday. I was like super dialed in yesterday. All right, so just filter for yesterday. Oh no, I guess I did have 3 losers, but out of 26 trades, that's still fantastic. So anyways, today, I had a almost $5,000 loss on Huge. And then I also had a trade on GNUS, which was this one right here. I bought 16,000 shares on this as it was flushing for the pop back up, and I was long 16,000 shares into a halt going down. It resumed and bounced off of a low of 16, which put me down 50 cents on 16,000 shares. Unrealized loss of $8,000. I didn't sell. I actually added, and then it popped back up here, as you can see, to 7. So it turned out to be a winner, but it was a risky trade. So that one, when I import it, will actually be a winner, but the trade on Huge is going to be a loss. So biggest loss so far of the month is already $4,000, but that's going to come with the territory of trading with bigger share size and being aggressive. And the fact is, with dip trades, it's aggressive as a strategy, and this trade down here was a good one. I was long at 620 with 15,000 shares for a pop back up to 650. That's 30 cents. Right there is $4,500 in one trade. So stepping up with big share size when I'm dialed in with 88% accuracy is absolutely the right decision, but it does mean that the losses that I have will be proportionally larger, just simply because of that share size. So you have to kind of remember, if you can't handle the heat, you gotta ease off, stay out of the kitchen. What's that expression? I don't know. But with trading, if you can't handle those big losses, you can't trade with that share size. And that's kind of something that I've dealt with in the past, which is that I emotionally don't feel like I can handle really big losses because it's just so stressful. And I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, when I do have a red day, is it going to be like a $15,000, $20,000 red day? And even if it is, that would still be okay relative to the fact that since April 1st, I've got a gross profit of $370,000, not including today. So that's almost $400,000 in how many trading days is this? I mean, that many trading days, 400,000. So even if I did lose 20 grand tomorrow, that's only a 5% drawdown versus 400,000 of profit. That's really not bad, but I really don't want it to happen. So as I start each day, I have to start with smaller share size, which on seco, 5,000 share starter up to 10,000 shares when it was working. That is starting pretty aggressively, but first profit, $1,600 or whatever it is, micro pullback, adding back. Again, next thing you know, I'm up 4,000, and then I've got my cushion. So those first couple trades are really important. Yesterday, we got a really good start thanks to the pre-market action. What was it? I can't even remember. It was AMRH, but tomorrow, I'll just come in here, obviously with the goal to be aggressive. And if I am aggressive, I think I'll do well. But also with the mindset that, if it's kind of a choppy day or a slow day, that's all right. I don't need to be hitting $27,000 every day in a row. This was last week. Last Tuesday, I made only 2,600. Wednesday, I made 10,000. Thursday, 40,000. Friday, 20,000. So now I've got 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2. Why is it doing this? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5-figure days in a row. 6 days in a row over 10,000, which is insane. So sitting on the month right now of June. Let's see. Once we add today's profit, so I'm at 52,000 before today. So that's going to bring me up to about $80,000 in profit on the month, which is pretty bonkers. So yeah, this is going to be, we're in a hot streak right now that is no doubt for the record books. And I'm just going to, be aggressive until I see an indication to slow down. Right now, I don't see any indication to slow down, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to continue to be aggressive and try to capitalize on these opportunities. We keep seeing stocks like gnus with 185 million shares of volume squeezing up 20, 30, 40%. Look at that breakout. I actually could have done better on that. I did well, but I could have done better. That was from 574 to 674 to 774. That's $2 a share. With 20,000 shares, I could have, top to bottom, that'd be $40,000. But that's where I'm starting to feel like if we do get something that goes really, truly insane and is strong kind of like all morning until 11:30, 12:30, and it's just totally going crazy, then that could be a day that I could crack my highest day of all time. But it's a tough thing because I talk about the importance of base hits, and to be honest, we look at yesterday's trades, and my average winners is $1,300. So in a lot of ways, these are a lot of base hits. There's a couple bigger winners here and there, but it is a total of 26 trades yesterday. So basically that's 26 trades of $1,000 each, roughly $26,000. 18 trades of $1,000 each, $18,000. I was up 24,000. So it's a lot of base hits, and then obviously a few losers, and then a few winners that end up being bigger than I expected. It's not like I'm taking one trade, holding 20,000 shares for $3 a share. That's never going to happen. I'm not going to do that. Unless I have an amazing cushion on the day already, I just don't see that happening. So it's going to be the culmination of lots of base hits. And today's a day where I'm running out of stuff to trade. Even if I wanted to keep trading, gnus gave one more dip entry down there. It right now is kind of at the volume weight average price, but is sort of tricky. I don't think I like it here unless it starts to break out back over 650, 670. Huge, has pulled back. So at the moment, even if I wanted to keep trading, there's not a lot still going on. So this is a day where, it's a little past 11. I'm going to shut it down here. We're going to switch gears. We're going to jump into the classes for students, keep going through our summer school program, and that'll be it. So thank you guys. Another crazy day. Class is in session, so we're going to jump over there in just about 2 minutes. I'll start that stream, and we will be jumping back in with chapter 5 in about 5 minutes. Okay, see you guys there.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Help us hit 750,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, and stay tuned and check out some of my other awesome uploads right here on YouTube.